Hey GED students, let's take a look at some of these word problems. Now, you know me, I'm all about combining GED skills, and that's because the GED is all about combining skills. So these guys combine three important skills: interpreting word problems, understanding negative numbers, and writing expressions. Woohoo, here we go, three at once. So directions say write an arithmetic expression. Yeah, don't get lost in that language, guys. I'm just telling you to write it in math symbols, okay? So write an arithmetic expression that could be used to find the specified information. Do not simplify your expression. So we are writing an expression and we're not simplifying. We're not doing the math. We're just going to use the numbers and the symbols of what we would do. That's an interesting way to think about it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first example. It says Alfonso, a mountain climber, descended from a certain peak at an average rate of 9 meters per minute. So dude is doing 9 meters per minute, but that's his rate of descent. He's going down 9 meters a minute. So guys, that in and of itself kind of implies a negative number. He's going down 9 meters per minute. Now we're going to write an expression, there's that language again, to represent his change in altitude over the course of 11 minutes. Well, we know what he does in 1 minute. It says he descends 9 meters in 1 minute. That's this minus 9. But we don't want to just look at a minute. We want to look at 11 minutes. So think about that. Over the course of 11 minutes, he's going to go down 9 meters in the first minute, 9 meters in the second minute, 9 meters in the third minute, and so on and so forth for 11 minutes. Now, I could write negative 9, minus 9, minus 9, negative 9, negative 9. Same difference, basically. I could write it 11 times, or I could be lazy like a mathematician. That's negative 9, 11 times. And you could just as easily flip it around if you wanted to. 11 times negative 9 really doesn't matter, but that is the idea there. Woo, look at us multiplying negatives. All right, and then again, it says do not simplify, so don't worry about doing the math. All you needed to do was write that expression. All right, oh, so that's an or, guys. That or that. Okay, let's take a look at Sarai. Sarai's checking account was overdrafted by $23.34. Keyword here, if you don't know what an overdraft is, you're not going to understand this question. So an overdraft is when your bank account goes negative. Okay, so we're looking at Sarai already having a bank account balance of $23.34 if she's overdrafted that. And then that says before the bank reversed a fraudulent charge of $467.33. The bank reversed a charge. Okay, so when they reverse, they're taking something out of your account. But this is an interesting thing because what are they taking out of her account? Not money. They're taking out or taking off a fraudulent charge, something they already charged her. They're subtracting or taking off a charge, a debt. And so we see that double negative for $67.33. And that's the way I would most directly translate that. Now, the thing about math is there's often more than one way to say the same thing. So you could have also said that she started with a bank account balance of $23.34, and then because they reversed the charge, they added back in $467.33. And you might say, well, which is it, Kate? Well, it's both. Those two things mean the same thing. Remember that subtracting a negative, taking away a charge, is the same as adding, giving money back to your account. And that should make sense because it jives with the real world. But the one thing you should watch out for, these two are right, but you would be wrong if you just wrote 1 minus. If you just wrote negative $23.34 minus $467.33, you're taking another $467 out of her account, and she is mad at you. So that would be wrong. Either of those two, though, they are perfectly legit. Okay, let's look at this third example. Zach and his friend Raul scuba dive together. If Raul is currently at a depth of 57 feet below sea level, and Zach is directly below him at 102 feet below sea level, write an expression that could be used to represent the distance between them. Interesting. I think I kind of want a picture for this one. Let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so here we got the ocean floor. Okay, we got Raul. Here he is. He's shaped like an R, and he's at 57 feet below. Notice I use a negative 57 because he's 57 feet below sea level. And then we have Zach, who's directly below him. Okay, so there's Zach at 102 feet below sea level, so negative 102. Write an expression that could be used to represent the distance between them. Okay, there's actually lots of right ways to do this. So probably the way that most students prefer is just to take the larger number, but students get tricked by which one of these is the larger number. Remember, if these are both negative, the larger number here would be the one closer to 0 or closer to sea level, and so that'd be Raul. He's further up, so it'd be negative 57. And a lot of students will remember distance means subtract is a subtraction expression. So I'll take negative 57 and subtract Zach's depth. But be careful, Zach's depth is not 102 above sea level. He's not flying, guys. He's negative 102. He's 102 feet below sea level. Now, that's a little tricky and it looks kind of confusing. And so remember that if you're not sure which number is bigger or smaller, you could just use absolute value bars. So you could have just as easily said absolute value, and then it really doesn't matter if you say negative 57 minus negative 102, or you start with negative 102 and then subtract negative 57. Okay, those are legit ways to do it. So here's 3 right ways to handle this problem, and they're not even the only right ways. You can go ahead and take a look at the answer key. I think I have 5 different examples. But one thing you should know is that if you only put one minus, like negative 57 minus 102 or negative 102 minus 57, either one of those would be wrong because you're subtracting a positive number, not subtracting the actual negative depth. All right. Woo! We just did hard work. Super proud of you guys.